Okay, thanks, Chris. So next question comes from JT from Greenville, South Carolina. I've got a cousin out in Greenville, so I'm out there every spring. I like to go out there when the weather's good, and I ride my bike on the Falls Park on the Reedy. It's like this big park, and we ride bikes out there. So really enjoy that beautiful place.
Are you doing this because of JT's comment about what he says at the end of this message? This is that
no,
you're just flexing.
No, I have
flexing on me because you're so world traveled.
I have a cousin out there, and we ride our bike on Falls Trip on the Reedy. Like it's
I'm
really
impressed.
Nice
I know
place.
I know nothing about Greenville. I know nothing about South Carolina.
A very booming place, like booming.
Okay.
A lot of big industrial.
JT has some advice for me at the end of the question. So we'll.
Yeah. So JT says, "Hi guys. First, let me say I have picked up some invaluable tips and knowledge regarding Google Ads from listening to you for the past 2 years. Thank you, JT. So I have often played with your suggestions from SCAG setups, service to keyword ad groups, and the Lazy Man builds, etc. I was very excited and hopeful for establishing some Performance Max campaigns based on the last few episodes that you focus on Performance Max. However, after a 30-day sampling, that's not enough time, I have to say that Performance Max is syncing my account performances. Impressions are great, but a less than 2% click-through rate is not. This may be relative to the industry that I'm in, but I was hoping to hear you possibly address Performance Max again through the prism of particular industry segments, why it works great for some and not others. For now, I'm pumping the brakes on Performance Max, but hope to gain some insights from an upcoming episode. Thank you for all you do in making the topic of Google Ads palatable in the podcast format. Palatable. I'm gonna reckon here. This is not a word, but
palatable.
We're gonna search it right here.
Easily consumable. That's what he's referring to.
It's an adjective. A palatable local red wine, pleasant to taste.
Yeah.
Acceptable or satisfactory.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's
hey,
compliment.
You know that. Yeah, I'll take it. That's why we'll take it. That's why we're here. So we appreciate it, JT. So, P.S. Hoping someone can get Chris a world atlas for the holidays, but seriously, don't change a thing. Dang, that's a very specific dig right there, Chris.
I saw that. I left that in. Just so you know, JT, I edit these questions, and I left that in. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was funny.
So yeah, for Performance Max, I've been running to this with some clients as well. Sometimes it's working great. Sometimes I'm getting feedback where they're saying it's not working so great. So first thing I would say is,
wait, you get to read the question and answer it?
When it comes to Performance Max, yeah.
Oh, you do.
Do you have Performance Max tattooed on you?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I do.
You're right.
Yeah. So 30 days is not enough, but at the same time, I would say this. There's specific settings inside of Performance Max and specific targeting options. And if you get those wrong, you're not going to be happy with the performance. So you have to know what you're doing with all the targeting, with all the settings. And then, yeah, I would give it more than 30 days if your settings and targeting are correct. One other thing here, Chris, is that when it comes to click-through rate and traditional Google Ads statistics, other than freaking conversions and freaking cost per conversion, you need to forget about it. Like, this is not a campaign where you need to focus on click-through rate. We're talking ads on Map. We're talking ads on YouTube. We're talking ads on Gmail. We're talking ads everywhere. And what the heck are the click-through rates going to be on those? Like, it's just a totally different thing. That said, Chris, Performance Max, since we talked about it about a month ago, any news on that with you, or are you still kind of looking into it a little bit?
It's still just another tool in the tool belt, but it's not my hammer. It's not my main tool. No, it's just it's an accessory for me still.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what tool it would be for me.
Probably should.
No, here's the thing. I'm not a tool guy.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not a tool in general. I'm a pretty good guy once you get to know me.
Yeah.
And I think I can get something out of you. But
yeah,
that's a joke, Chris. You're supposed to laugh at it because it's not true.
That's not a joke.
Did you see how much I cared about talking to you before the episode started today?
That's because you're exactly right. Because when we turned on the screen, we turned on the camera, Jason's like, "Oh, hi, everyone."
Hey.
3 seconds before, he's like, "You ready to go?"
All no, right, that's not true at all. We're exaggerating for the comedic effect here, Chris. But it's not a tool in my toolbox. It's me saying, "Oh, I don't have the right tool. I'm going to call in the professionals."
Yeah,
and they're going to come do something for me, because that's what Performance Max is. I need this thing built. I don't have the tools to build it. Come build it for me. Come get me the cost per conversion I want. Come get me conversions. That's pretty much the reason you run Performance Max, because it's doing things that you can't do as a manager, whether you want to do automated or manual. It's like totally different things. It puts a bunch of things together. But his question here, Chris, working better for different industries than other industries. I would say, yes, I have seen that. I've seen it work really well for some industries. I've seen it work not as well for different industries. I would say over time, it's only going to get better and better, because it'll get more data and kind of figure it out. But yeah, that's what I've seen so far with it.
Yeah. JT, I think you're right on with that.
Dude,
question.
Chris, why do you keep saying JT? Do you love that name? Did you know JT?
I always address in the questions. I always like to address the people by their name. I'm a professional. I'm addressing the question.
This isn't about you and JT.
Not talking to you.
Maybe it's that JT makes me think of JC, and JC makes me think of JC Chazé, and that's kind of who you look like, mixed with the little Chael Sonnen.
Oh, is that soccer guy that you keep?
No, it's the guy from NSYNC.
Oh,
if he had a baby with Chael Sonnen,
what?
And maybe Mike the Situation from Jersey Shore, that is you, Chris.
Okay,
you look like a combination of Chael Sonnen, the Situation, and JC Chazé from NSYNC.
Okay, well, I'll have to think about.
You'll have to look it up.
Who had to have a baby to make you? But let me answer JT's question. JT, I absolutely agree that there are some major missteps when it comes to some industries and some wins on others with Performance Max. I have been very unhappy. I mean, just to speak in generalities, I do not like Performance Max for business to business, B2B stuff. Not a fan of it. That's one thing. So yes, I do think in particular industry segments, particular types of things, depending on what you're going after, the Performance Max tool, I don't consider it to be a major strategy for me. It's just another tool in addition to other things that I might try. It's absolutely a no-go. It's a non-starter for me. I would go with other strategies in some industries. B2B is one, in particular, very small, specific types of things where you're looking for a very particular type of consumer traffic, very, very not very well known type of service or product, where people may not be searching for it very much, where Google doesn't really have any data on, what that looks like, who needs to see it, those kind of things. I don't really like to do Performance Max campaigns for.
I will make a prediction about Performance Max, Chris. I did this a few years ago with Maps, and I said Google's just going to keep doubling down on Maps, and they're going to be a big factor here with Google Ads. I think Performance Max is here to stay. I think they throw a lot at the wall. They throw a lot of different names out there, brand a lot of different things, and kind of see what sticks. And I'm seeing it. It's either sticky or they're making it stick for us. But like, I see them being very serious about Performance Max and us talking about that 5-10 years from now. Like, I think it's going to be around, because I think it makes a lot of sense for them business-wise to make the most use of all their assets. At the same time, if people can get it to work, I've seen it work really well, and it's a nice complement to just search. Like, you could almost call search these days just search. Just search works really, really good. But a lot of advertisers, they do search and they're like, yeah, this works really, really good. I've got this other budget, maybe TV ads, stuff I don't like spending money on it. And if I could just get a little confidence to bring that over for the branding, kind of social aspect of what's possible with Google Ads and YouTube, I think people are wanting to do it. So I think it's sticky. I think it's going to be around.
Yeah.